Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Football season's here, games are here, tailgates are here, and the fall invaders are here. You're going to start seeing stink bugs on your windowsills, ladybugs trying to get in your door, box elder beetles and box elder bugs, whichever way you want to call them. They're trying to sneak into your home. They all want to winter in your house and then lay their little eggs and have their offspring rise up next spring in your house. If you don't want that, and I know you don't, Southeast Termite and Pest Control, the folks to call. The Haynes family's been doing this since 1971. And boy, they go all over East Tennessee. So check them out online. Give them a call this week. See if they come out to your area. My guess is they do. 50 years of greatness. SoutheastTermite.com. Okay, take a look at this graphic. Swing game, I'm asking. On the left, Tennessee was 11-2 last year, and everybody was riding high. But they went 2-2 in their last 4 SEC games. Throw in Florida. They've lost 3 of their last 5 against SEC competition. That'll make everybody freak out. So this Saturday, Tennessee versus South Carolina. I mentioned, we've spent all year, we're going to get them next year after what they did in Columbia last year. 7:30 this Saturday, SEC Network, Neyland Stadium. I'm sure Sterling will have that place pumping.
I'm going to try.
How big is this game, Bob Hodge?
Well, I'm going to go back to what Bobby Bowden used to say. He said he figured out the big game was always the one you lose. I think there's going to be a little bit of that this week. If you lose to South Carolina, it's going to be monstrous. If you win, Texas A&M becomes monstrous. Win that, then Alabama's monstrous. But I think it's very important for Tennessee to be able to find something against South Carolina, which I think is right there with. The SEC is a lot of pretty good. I don't think it's a lot of great. I think it's a lot of teams right there. And this is a chance for you to start separating yourself from that kind of muddled middle. I think you've got Georgia and then about 6 or 7 other guys. This is your chance. But I think this is a huge game for Tennessee for this season and possibly beyond. So I think that's how big it is.
How big?
I think it's huge for the direction of this season. The loss to Florida created doubt. If you lose to South Carolina, more doubt's created. And that doubt's created toward the quarterback and more toward the coach as well. And it's like, okay, what are we playing for? That's what the fans would say. You've lost 2 conference games. A lot of the hopes are gone. You beat South Carolina, you still can hang on to a lot of hope. But if you lose to South Carolina, there are other games that you're looking at, like, okay, do you think they'll beat Alabama, Georgia, Missouri, Kentucky? Yeah. So I think it's big from the psyche of this team and the direction of this season.
I think it's got a little bit of program stuff in it too. Because
long term.
Do you want to everybody look and say, well, heck, Tennessee, South Carolina, there's no difference. So I think it's big from that standpoint too.
Tennessee's number 9 in the 247.com, 247sports.com recruiting rankings right now. South Carolina's dropped a little bit to number 19, but they're in the same ballpark with you. And like I said, they have gone back and forth. This hasn't been a series that leads toward Tennessee in recent years. Sterling, how big is this game?
It's ginormous. Be clear, it's ginormous. It's important for the players and the coaches. But one thing I noticed about those last 3 games that we lost in the SEC, they were at Florida, they were at South Carolina, they were at Georgia. We've got a Neyland effect going on, brother. And at home, we've got some edge. And I just hope that the players understand. I hope the fans understand. I hope we bring it to South Carolina like no other. And I'm excited about Saturday's game. This is a huge game for the fans, for the players, for the coaches, and our program.
But this is what you players.
This is what you come here for.
Yeah.
You come here for this.
And that makes it important too because you want to keep that Neyland is a tough place. You don't want to come in here kind of place.
Absolutely. Ain't nobody welcoming Neyland except if you're not wearing orange.
You want me to show my receipts? I can.
Yeah, let's see the receipt. Now, here's in terms of creating an atmosphere at Neyland Stadium. Don't forget, Columbia was pretty lit last year. Yeah. That was they went nuts. That was kind of their game of the year. So Tennessee fans need to show up and do the same at Neyland Stadium this week. What did you think, just very quickly, fan mood yesterday? Had it affect attendance at all?
I really didn't think it did. Remember, I texted you before, light crowd.
That's why I was asking Jimmy. Sorry. I was just asking.
Okay.
No,
I'll say Crowley.
Really good crowd. I didn't think it had.
Jimmy's the one that always grades you're sitting there gauging
I'm counting them.
Yeah.
I mean,
89,241. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was looking at him. You thought I was looking. I apologize. So it's bad hosting.
Peripheral
All right.
vision.
And Sterling, good job by you too. All right. When we come back, Chuck talks injuries for Tennessee. We'll talk South Carolina and their pass protection. Josh is going to look ahead to Tennessee's next 4 opponents. The rest of this show, we're going to be doing a lot of that, looking ahead. Let's talk about the next 4 opponents and what they did yesterday. Next on the Sports Source. Come on back.